We're live. Hi, everyone. It's a slimmed down but still important version of the Killer Author Club tonight. But it's a special episode because tonight's guest is me. And I know, like, who knew? Who knew? And it's very special because we're going to talk about Under the Palms, all things the Kingsleys, and Kimberly is here too. So it's not just me, which is great. So we have tons to talk about. Grab your cocktail, and we will see you on the other side.
Thought you really loved me, guess I was wrong. Thought you'd never leave me, guess I was dumb. Waited like forever to be your plus one, but I guess you were done.
Hi again. Hi to all of our old members. No, like not old, that's a bad word. All of our current members and all of our new people joining us. We're so glad you're here. This is the Killer Author Club. And wherever you're watching, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, we're so happy you've joined us. I am Killer Kaira Rouda, and this is Killer Kimberly Bell, and we're here tonight to regale you with witty stories about Under the Palms. Oh, and also my dogs. Okay. Killer Heather Gudenkopf, which happens every episode, is dealing with some family stuff. So bear with us as we try to fill all three shoes and also the guest shoes. So I guess we're filling, what are we filling? Two shoes with two.
I have a lot of buttons to push. That's all I know.
Yeah. Really is going to be pushing buttons. And I'm going to be just talking incessantly, apparently. Okay. I'm so excited to be here, being welcomed to the Killer Author Club. This whole script is just about me talking about me. Anyway, we'll be talking about Under the Palms and all things killing. So you guys please pop your questions for me because Kimberly and I need help this episode, and we will get to as many of them as possible. Thanks again for being here. Kimberly, would you like to introduce tonight's guest?
I would love to. Kaira Rouda is an award-winning USA Today and Amazon charts best-selling author of contemporary fiction that explores what goes on beneath the surface. Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Of seemingly perfect lives. Her novels of domestic suspense include The Widow, Somebody's Home, The Next Wife, The Favorite Daughter, Best Day Ever, All the Difference. Her last book, Beneath the Surface, has been optioned for a feature film. We're going to talk about that. Under the Palms released today, and the next Mrs. Strom is coming in August 2024, and that is a follow-up to Best Day Ever. So exciting times. To date, Kaira's work has been translated into more than a dozen languages. Several of her novels have been named Amazon Editors' Picks for Best Mystery, Thriller, and Suspense. The Next Wife was named a Suspense Magazine's Best Book of 2021 and a 2022 Silver Falchion for Best Suspense Novel and a 2022 Silver Falchion First Runner-Up for Best Book of the Year. Wow. Kaira served as a committee chair for the Edgar Awards this year, so ask her how many books she's read, and frequently appears on panels at conferences across the country. She lives in Southern California with her family. For more, visit KairaRouda.com. Congrats, Kaira. Happy Pub Day.
Thank you, Kimberly. It's so nice to be here. And again, you guys apologize for my dogs. We have three, and they're being a little rowdy tonight, so we hope they will pipe down a little bit. But Kimberly, thanks for having
me. Dogs are always welcome on our show.
Well, and they always are on the show, so we don't really have any choice. We try to keep them quiet, but it's inevitable. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, we're going to dive into your book in great detail in just a minute. But for now, could you give us the elevator pitch for Under the Palms?
Sure, I'd love to. Okay, so this is a story about the Kingsley family. And if you were along for the ride with Beneath the Surface, which you don't have to read, it's the first book in the series, but they also serve as standalones. So we'll put this guy away. But anyway, the Kingsley family went on a yacht trip to Catalina Island for a weekend to try to discover who is going to be the heir to the Kingsley family business. And if you've read it, you know that maybe not all of the Kingsleys survived that weekend yacht trip. However, the ones that do are back again Under the Palms. And this time there is a new president of the Kingsley organization, and it's Paige, one of the wives of their 2 sons. So this is Paige is Ted's wife. And this weekend is like a retreat she's planned at this luxurious resort in Laguna Beach where I live. And she's trying to bring the company and the family closer together. And of course, that's probably not possible with these guys. So anyway, it was really fun to write, and I hope you guys will like it.
Yeah, well, I loved it, and I have a lot of questions for you. And a reminder to everyone to drop your questions in the comments, and we will make sure to ask them of our killer guest tonight. But first, let's talk about this episode's special drink. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, look, I have to push a button. Here it comes. Ready?
Button. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I like that. So nice. It's a video even. We are so high tech around here. I love it. I love it. Oh, there's the cue the dog. Okay. So of course, the Kingsleys just drink champagne. They really do, like morning, noon, and night on the yacht. They're not quite drinking as much champagne at Under the Palms, although some of them are, some of them aren't. But yeah, it's just kind of the Kingsley family drink. It's a simple drink, simple for me to make. And that is what we're having tonight. So to the Kingsleys and Under the Palms.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. That's my kind of bartending. Just pop open the cork.
Me too. In fact, this one opened itself because my husband had wanted to celebrate our my birthday, and
which was what, 2 days ago? I mean, talk about a celebration.
So it's like book birthday and my birthday, so I just keep carrying my book everywhere, and like a special bottle of champagne, or unwrap the foil of it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's save that for another night. And he's like, does it save? We don't know. So we put it in the refrigerator, and the next thing you know, it opened itself. So
in the fridge?
Yes, in the fridge. It didn't really spill everywhere. It just like popped its cork and had a little celebration all with the stuff that's in the refrigerator.
And you're like, wait for me.
Yeah, but it was still sparkly, so that was good. I went in there and like, wow, you've opened yourself. So there you have it.
You can also drop in a spoon, an upside down spoon. Have you ever heard that trick?
Yeah, that would have been good. But the cork was still in. It just uncorked itself.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. You can drop a spoon to keep it debubbling.
Just my little tip, my little professional champagne drinker's tip.
I like it.
All right. So the Killers and I started the Killer Author Club 2 years ago so that readers like you guys can interact with some of the best suspense and thriller authors in the biz. Our winter-spring lineup includes superstars like Rachel House Hall, Ruth Ware. Yep, you heard that right. She will be coming to the Killer Author Club next Tuesday, May 28th at the regular time. So definitely do not miss that. I started her book tonight. It's fantastic. Sandra Block is another one, CJ Box, so many more. Dates, times, past episodes, much, much more can be found on killerauthorclub.com. But tonight we are here to talk about Under the Palms. Rouda keeps the complications coming. Fans of lethal soap operas will be happy to know that a third season is on the way. A third season. Who could they be?
I know. It'd be great. Thank you, Kirkus.
That was Kirkus Reviews. And when Kirkus Reviews likes your book, that's a special thing. You pop open that bottle of champagne.
Yeah. Even if it pops open itself. Maybe that's why it popped open itself. I don't know.
Exactly. In Under the Palms, the endlessly entertaining Kaira Rouda has created a high-octane whodunit as unpredictable as the Santa Ana winds. Rouda brings back the notorious Kingsley crew, dropping them at an exclusive resort with a hidden, dangerous underbelly, tosses in corporate intrigue, plenty of backbiting, and a shocking murder. This heart-stopping page-turner will leave readers begging for more time with the Kingsleys in all their dysfunctional glory. That's from Heather. We know Heather, New York Times bestselling author, guest, and co-host of the Killer Author Club. We should start adding that to our blurbs, right?
We should. Yeah.
Should. And I have this to say, the Kingsleys are back once again fighting for control of the family business and fortune, this time at an exclusive seaside resort. Rouda plops readers into the heart of this dysfunctional family where the battle for power quickly turns ugly and darkly comedic, a propulsive, unputdownable tale, an incredibly fun ride. So, Kara, we know for a fact that you are a highly skilled and accomplished killer. So, we need to know the answer to your killer question. Where would that be? Killer question. Here it comes. Why do you kill?
I'm just impressed that you can find all those things because I don't know where they are.
It's a stress.
Okay, I think the basic answer of why do I kill is because I can. And once you start killing, you just, fictionally speaking, you just kind of get attached to the whole notion. The fact that you can, in your imagination, come up with all these ways to kill people, and it's actually really fun. And that's kind of the genesis of the Killer Author Club too, is like asking people like Kimberly and I, who are authors of these types of books, like, what is it about you people that makes you want to kill?
Crazy people that makes you want to kill.
I know. And I think also why is I've decided or discovered along the journey of doing this that it's very cathartic as well. And so killing off a fictional character that may have qualities of some people or some situations that you've been in, it actually it solves some things that you might not have maybe solved the way you wanted them to, or have them resolved the way you wanted to in real life. And this way, with perspective and time and the ability to kill, you get to kind of handle things a little differently. So I think that's why I kill.
Yeah, you get to make the story that you want to make.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, speaking of killing people off, were there any? Because this is part 2 of a story that you started in Beneath the Surface. So, were there any people in here that you were dying to kill off when you in part 2? Like, oh, it's time.
It's funny because this Beneath the Surface started out as a standalone, and actually Under the Palms is a standalone too. You can read it without reading Beneath the Surface if you'd like to, but I think it's better with Beneath the Surface. But to your point, I mean, in the beginning of the edits for Beneath the Surface, an editor had wanted to kill off Richard, the patriarch. And I'm like, no, you can't kill the patriarch because he's like the kingpin. He holds everything together, because without him being in the center of everything and keeping all of his kids out of balance and kind of holding all the power, there's no story. So I have been fighting to keep Richard alive for a while. So when people in Under the Palms die, which they do, and also because I'm a pantser, I don't really know who's going to die. So I kind of like all my characters, even though they're sometimes not nice people. And it'll surprise me as much as anybody when one of them gets killed. And that a couple of times happens in Under the Palms. So I don't really have anybody that I necessarily have a target on their back in this book, but a couple of them do for sure.
That is wild to me that you start a book and you don't know who's going to be dead by the end.
No.
It's like you're just riding along and then all of a sudden you're like, oops.
Oh, yeah, totally. So in Beneath the Surface, I was up here writing in my office where I am right now. And
I know which scene you're about to talk about, because that was a shocking killing.
Yes. Okay. And I had no idea he was going to do this as the character. And I scared myself. So when he did it and I'm typing the scene and he does what he does, I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I had to like close my computer and go running downstairs and like to my husband, like, you would not believe what just happened. These people are out of control. I have no idea. Yeah. So it's very, it's very scary when they do things like that. Yeah. But also good. I figure if I scare myself, then I'm going to scare somebody else. So
yeah, for sure. And if you surprise yourself,
yeah,
you surprise your readers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you picked the book up or picked the story up to write part 2, were you like, oh, I've missed these characters? Or are you like, oh my gosh, these people are really
They're
Over the top? Like what?
they are. They're like if you guys ever watched Dallas or Dynasty or Falcon Crest and all that stuff, I kind of picture them in that vein, as well as Succession. So there's like a long line of family sagas that just kind of like you can't look away because it's they're just so
Train crash.
yeah, they're a train wreck, but they're dressed really well and they go like to luxurious places and that kind of, I don't know, it's just I like that kind of thing. But when I sat down to write this, because I didn't know there was going to be a sequel, so when they said we'd like a follow-up to Beneath the Surface, I'm like, oh wow, gosh, I haven't written a sequel since I wrote Romance, which was a few years ago. And so I sat down to start writing and they were all right here. It was so fun. Yeah, so they were all ready to go. Like you just did that with The Widows. So it's so much, I found it so fun. I had no idea that they were going to be just so present and so ready to just jump back on the page.
It's fun. It's fun in a way because like when you first write a story and come up with characters, you're thinking of so many different things, right? You're thinking about who are these people, what are their motivations? But when you pick up a part 2 of a story, you know it right away. So really you're only thinking about plot. And so it kind of opens up the possibility to do really crazy things. Although you did crazy things in part 1 too, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the thing that it opens things up. And I also I thought, I mean, I didn't know it because I was writing and then they disappeared, that other characters can kind of come in and mess with them as well. So that's fun too, to kind of add to the character list as you're knocking people off as well. So that's fun.
I'm looking through the comments to see if there's anything here. They're all terrible in their own special ways.
I know. I love all these. Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Killer Kaira, does your husband have the white jacket ready for you? That's funny.
I know. He does tell people he sleeps with one eye open, which may or may not be true.
Of course. Yeah. As he should, right? As all our husbands should. Absolutely. All right. So you were talking before of Succession. Book 1, Beneath the Surface, is set on a luxury yacht. Book 2, Under the Palms, is set at a fabulous resort in Laguna Beach. So it's Succession, but I also got some White Lotus vibes, especially with the book 2, right? So tell us why you chose these settings. They're kind of near you, right? How far are you from Laguna Beach?
Yeah, I'm in Laguna Beach, which is so fun. And it's a great town and it's beautiful. And I've been having so much fun. The book and I've been going around to different stores and friends of mine and shops in town and like having people pretend like they're reading and holding the book. And everybody's so great. It's like a beautiful small town on the coast and it's just gorgeous. So that's fun. And then hopefully they won't get mad at me, but I did decide to set this murderous, well, they're not all murderous, but some people are more murderous than others, family at this resort here in Laguna Beach, which is south of me. It's called the Montage, but I didn't call it that. I called it the Twin Palms. So it's not the Montage. It's just kind of like the Montage. And you know what's so fun? I haven't told anybody this, but when I said there, so you go to this resort that I'm not writing about. It's not the resort in the book, but it could be. There's this beautiful pool with this mosaic tile and then these 2 giant palm trees. And that's why I named it the Twin Palms. So my husband, for my birthday, we went and stayed there on Friday night, which was so fun. And I'm like, I got to go see the palm trees. So we go down to look at the 2 palm trees. And there's a plaque by the palm trees, unbeknownst to me. And they are the Desi and Lucy palm trees because they filmed a movie here, which at the time was a top grossing film. It's like in the I got to get my facts right. But anyway, it was a Lucille Ball production and a very famous movie that they did. And those palm trees are the only thing that was saved of the original structures that were there on this point where the hotel is set now. And it was so cool. I had no idea.
Love it. So if you know that resort and you read the book, do you think people recognize it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a spectacular resort and such a beautiful setting. It's like it spills down the hill and then the pool and the ocean's right in front of you and there's cliffs. It's just stunning. It's really stunning. We vacationed here when our kids were little and stayed there and I'm like, this is where I want to live. And I didn't mean at the resort, but that would have been nice too. But we did eventually. Yeah.
I could live at a resort for a minute.
Me too.
All right, so back to Under the Palms. The story, Paige gets her starring role finally, right? Because she takes over, or
Yes,
she's appointed head of the family business.
yes.
What is it about Paige that makes her the right, or maybe even the wrong choice for heading up?
Yeah, she's probably not quite the right choice, but he didn't want to pick anyone else. Okay, and to answer a question I just saw, which floated by, oh, here it is. Okay, Linda asked, what was the movie about the palm trees? And it was called, it's the 1954 blockbuster movie, The Long, Long Trailer. And this is like the plaque that's on the palm
Oh,
tree.
so
So it's,
cute.
it's so cool. Anyway, okay, and that's a phone call. Sorry about that. Good grief. Anyway, so Paige is the unlikely choice actually because there are two sons and one daughter of Richard Kingsley, and Richard should be picking either one of his sons or his daughter, right? And by the end of book one, he decides to kind of put a little twist. And that's kind of Richard too. He likes to keep everybody off balance. So he picks Paige because he thinks he can control her and he can still kind of like be the person in charge, but she's kind of like his face person. And he finds out in book two and Under the Palms that maybe Paige isn't as pliable as he would like her to be,
Mm,
and also she's supported by some other badass women. So that kind of puts a wrinkle in Richard's plans.
loved it. All right, so I do want to talk a little bit about your movie deal. We've talked about it before on this show, but if you guys missed the news, Beneath the Surface is coming to the big screen. Here's her announcement. It was big in Deadline with big pictures. Alfonso Alvarez Barreda. I don't know him, but you tell us about him.
Yeah.
He's behind the big news.
Yeah, so I was just minding my own social media business, and I'm terrible at checking messages. And Alonso, who you just introduced, he's up and coming Mexican director, and he's amazing. His first film comes out this summer. It's called The Wing Walker, and it's about a man who's deported as his little girl is about to undergo major surgery in the U.S., and it's winning all these awards. And anyway, I didn't know of him before, but now I'm like so impressed by him, and he's a great person. But he was sending me messages on Instagram, and I never look at Instagram messages. Now I do, but I didn't.
I was going to say, but that's changed.
Yeah, now I do. So anyway, so he had read it in one night and said, I want to make this movie. And it was just so fun. And we've been exchanging messages. He's always on vacation on the shoot, but and then he introduced us to the production company. And right now has a screenwriter writing it. So we will see.
Okay. I love it. So have you talked to this screenwriter, or do you have any sort of anything like?
No, I mean, they said that I will have input, so hopefully I will. And but I'm not a screenwriter. My daughter's a screenwriter. I like to try to learn screenwriting, but as far as writing it, no. Yeah, it's fine. I can't wait to see what a professional does.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. I've actually tried screenwriting. It is super hard. If you're used to writing a book, writing a screenplay or a pilot for a TV show, it's a completely different ball game.
So hard. And I've written a pilot and two of my books into movies with my daughter, but I have to admit she does all the heavy lifting. I just kind of pop in with the dialogue, and she does all the like scene setting and all the really hard screenwriting parts. So
it's so hard. You really have to be because every word is so precious, right? And so you have to be really careful not to you need to use as few words as possible to set the scene.
And that's what my daughter says. She like bleeds over every word. She'll be, and then we're collaborating in final draft, and she'll be like just thinking about every single word. It's so important. And then she'll be like on page 12 doing a scene block, and she'll tell me to do the dialogue because I know the characters. So I'll be doing the dialogue, and I'm just carrying on, and she'll be like, "Where are you?" And I'm on page 30. Get back here. No. So she's like, "You're vomiting words again." I'm like, "I know, but you're like taking so long." So yeah, it's a totally different skill. Totally different.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's really hard.
All right. So back to Under the Palms. I love the bits of gossip from OC Scoop. That was so fun. That made the story like really the pages really fly by. Where did that idea come from?
Yeah, it's funny because I wanted to set the book up so in case you hadn't read Beneath the Surface, you could kind of just dive right in. And so to me, the way to do that was through the kind of gossip columnist who was in book one as well. And so the OC Scoop kind of leads you off right into the story. And fun fact, I was a society columnist back in Columbus, Ohio.
Really? Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, and mine was nothing snarky like this. It was more about like who was doing great things for charity and all that kind of stuff. But I did during that time like read a lot of the classic gossip columnist type and try to do little nods to that. So it was fun to just kind of drop in to that and bring it back like flat.
Yeah. Did you do it anonymously? Because that's
No, I didn't.
really good and fun.
Yeah, no, it was under my name. That's why you have to be
XOXO Gossip Girl.
Yeah, exactly. So OC Scoop is anonymous, so they're allowed to be snarky. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Should we talk about Paris?
We could. Yeah, we should. I think we should. We have to for a moment, please.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants to know about that.
I mean, how fun was that, right?
Yeah.
So random.
So random, you guys. So, and it was because of you. So we both have Paris set books coming out later this summer, and I was busy with my daughter's wedding, so I didn't know any of this was going on. But Kimberly's like, "Yeah, a bunch of us are going to Paris. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "I think you should always say yes to an invitation to Paris."
Yes, Paris.
Yeah, next thing you know, we're there in Paris. It was so fabulous, and now we're thinking we need to make that an annual thing. I'm not sure how we do that, but
I mean, I would go back.
Yeah,
we could do Amsterdam.
Yeah, anything. And it was so fun. It was 6 authors, and
so Alex Finley put it together, and then Christina McDonald, Sarah Pekkanen, Cindy, what's her last name? She writes under a different name than what?
RX I think.
Yeah.
It was so great. You guys might have seen it on our social media because we're like, we're in Paris and we're together. This is so fun. It was great. It was really
fun.
Go back
and check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Okay, you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
It's time for the killer giveaway, I think.
It is time for the killer giveaway.
Yes. And my script says Kaira is giving away 3 paperback copies of Under the Palms. And hey, that's me. Okay, to 3 lucky US Killer Author Club viewers. Doesn't matter if you're watching us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. We scour the comments everywhere we stream, but please make sure to shout out where you're from. So good luck, you guys, and I hope you win. Oh, shoot. Okay, but here's the question. Let me see if I like this or not. Oh, I was the committee chair for which book-related award this year? That's a tough one.
What?
And how many books did I read for that? Like a lot. A lot.
It was buried under books. But the good news is, you guys, she's going to be giving some of them away. So every Friday, we've started this thing called Freebie Friday, and we kind of bounce between our Instagram and our Facebook. So everybody gets a chance, but we're going to be giving a lot of books away every single Friday. So make sure to check our socials and throw your hat in the ring. I was about to say ring in the hat, but it is 3 a.m. So I'm allowed. All right. So the killers love indies and we want to support them in any way we can. That's why we ask every author to tell us their favorite. Kaira has chosen Zibby's Bookshop in Santa Monica, California. Kaira, can you tell us why this store is so special to you?
Sure, absolutely. Last night I was there and it was so fun. It was like the night before book launch kind of event. And I had some LA friends and family there, which was great. And forgot to take pictures of any of them. I feel so embarrassed because they all took pictures of me and I'm like, God, darn it, I didn't. Anyway, so thank you for being there, those guys that were there. And Zibby's is amazing. It's this in a beautiful building and you walk in and you just feel right at home right away. And they've got different categories than you typically see, but it's so fun to just browse in there, and the staff is amazing, and it's happy and light, and they have so many events and they're so community centric. So I just love it there. So
yeah, I want to visit next time I'm out that way. I would love to visit.
Looks all right, great. I'll come too.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be dropping the link to Under the Palms in the comments so you can order it and any others on your wish list.
Exactly. All right. And as much as we'd love to invite every amazing killer author to be featured on our shows, there are only so many fantastic authors and books, and only 3 of us or 2 of us tonight. But we can't let this evening go by without celebrating 2 very special authors with brand new releases. So the first one is A Friend Indeed by Elka Ray, and it came out on May 14th, and Elka is giving away 2 copies to U.S. readers. Here's the setup. A darkly atmospheric tale of lifelong friends, Dana and Joe, whose trust in each other gets tested when Dana's husband turns up dead. As the characters' mutual suspicions ratchet up, they each begin to unravel. And that's by Deborah Goodrich Royce. That's her quote about the book. Anyway, we're going to drop the bookshop link to that, and congratulations. And the next book is The 5-Year Life by Serena Bowen, and it's out today. And she's giving away 3 copies for you guys. So make sure you tell us like whose book you're interested in, or if you're interested in all of them. Just let us know that too. Okay, The 5-Year Life is an ordinary Monday morning. Ariel Cafferty's phone buzzes with a disturbing text message. Something's happened. I need to see you. Meet me under the candelabra tree ASAP. The sender, the only man she ever loved, and it's been several years since he died. Ooh, that's great. I love that setup. Yeah. Anyway, and we'll drop a link to that book as well. So congratulations to Serena and The 5-Year Life.
Love it. I just dropped all the links in the comments, so check those out. Oh no, and now I have to go back over here and do the swag giveaway. Oh no.
You do. A lot going on.
Heather is so much better at this. Here we go. Oh, wait. I'm not going to do that yet. Okay. Sorry, guys. Membership has its privileges. If you're on Facebook, check out the private members only group called the Killer Author Clubhouse. It's a place for the really hardcore killers where we share book recommendations, have all sorts of murderous fun, and of course, giveaways starting this Friday. Every episode, we choose a name from the Killer Author Clubhouse hat to win a piece of swag. We've got t-shirts, mugs, candles, totes, hats, all of which can be found at killerauthorclub.com. Tonight's winner is now Kimberly Trini Douglas. Please contact one of the killers and we will send your swag your way.
Yay. Congratulations. Okay. And you know what, you guys? I think I survived. Did I survive? I don't know. I don't see the badge.
Boom, you did.
Boom, I survived, which is a good news thing because otherwise Kimberly would be here all by herself. And that would be a little bit awkward. So anyway, yes, I survived. Thank you, Kimberly, for hosting me. And thanks to you guys all for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here. This was fun. I love talking to you about Under the Palms out today. What a celebration.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So that does it, you guys, for tonight's episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. And thanks so much to Kaira for being here. If you were paying attention at the beginning, you know that we will be back in just 1 week, not 2, but 1 week on the 28th with the one, the only Ruth Ware to talk all things her brand new book, also out today, One Perfect Couple. In the meantime, please find us wasting entirely too much time on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and probably a bunch of other places so that all the information you need, times, upcoming schedule, past episode recipes, and merch, surf to killerauthorclub.com. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, no, where to go?
I got it.